Okay, so we died.
So, you know, productive first episode of
Yes.
the Autobot campaign.
We are doing really well.
Aren't we?
That made me so viscerally uncomfortable.
Vroom, vroom. Couldn't the road have just gone straight?
No.
No? Okay.
Pew. Dear Goose.
Yeah. He lives up to his namesake very well.
He did very well.
Was I supposed to do something up there?
Oh no! Was that Soundwave? Optimus! That was Soundwave!
Okay, congratulations, Bumblebee. But we have other things to do. Like drive, apparently.
Yes.
The road!
Oh no! Sacred Blue.
No, wait, aren't the Decepticons gonna need the highway as well?
Apparently not.
Report. Is anyone hurt?
Nothing you can't fix.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't kill you to exercise caution.
I'll probably kill Bumblebee to be a bit more cautious.
Yeah, probably.
Heads up, Autobots. Snipers.
We'll push him out, Optimus!
Boop.
We may need this.
Revive? I shall revive you.
We've got to get back to the speedway.
Worry not, brother.
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 We're not Goron, so it doesn't really work. Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna count that as a boop. It wasn't a headshot. There's a thing jumping on my phone. It wasn't that close to the explosion. What's with me and jumping on my fellow Autobots in this playthrough? Done it twice already. Probably not going to be the last time.
There's the exit!
Well, there might be fancy things. No,
Fancy
that's
things,
not
you
very
say?
fancy. Yeah, like a different gun. That'd be fancy. I don't like this gun. Loop and poop. Oh, excuse me.
Enjoy, citizens of Iacon. Your new
That close up is...
Megatron has arrived.
No, no thank you.
Will you be plagued by
Yeah, I'm good without.
the man choice? Henceforth,
Who are you broadcasting to? Everyone here is dead.
the only guidance you shall require. Embrace.
Look, he's doing a thing from the cartoon. Oh, those texture pop-ins. Didn't even get to load the texture there.
Deploy! Weapons up!
Can I get a gun that... Yeah. Whatever. Oh. I don't want a gun beam thing.
No?
No. Raph's already got that, and he's not even using it. Also, it's kind of like the medic's heal gun from Team Fortress 2, because you can use it to heal others, just not yourself.
Oh, lovely.
Ooh, he's got a big gun.
Optimus, this is Iron.
Big gun.
There's a huge faction of Decepticons Decepticons massing outside the Decagon's main gate. Take out as many as you can. I need a pathway cleared.
Iacon, Decagon, like what are these
Glad to see you
names?
finally stepped up. Just doing what needs to be done, Ironhide.
I don't know. Wow.
That was probably going to happen if you were going to stand right next to Dark Energon.
Eh.
Megatron has somehow found a way to
Oh, pew.
Energon.
Pew pew, 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 pew.
Energon is the
I
source
don't like that charge gun.
but to see it for real.
Ratchet, stop it, man.
Stuff of legend.
I just got this gun.
Boss fight time?
No, they transform. It's like, I just got this gun. I don't want to throw it away. Neat.
Good boy.
Decepticon war machine. I've seen these in the archives. They're used to dispense dark energy.
Wouldn't that mean they're fair? Okay, that would either mean they're old history or new history then. New history, how is it in the archives already?
Its lights out.
Wait, I just asked you if it was boss fight time and you said no.
Do you hear one? I don't really remember this game 100%, like the sequence of things. And I don't know if this counts as a boss fight. Because the boss fights are usually reserved to the end of the levels.
Right.
Oh, I've done another dead.
R.I.P.
I think it's safe to say that this chapter might be a little bit harder than the Decepticon's first chapter. Just a tiny bit.
I think you might be right. Hi, Toots.
Oh, I don't have my big gun.
Pew. Don't do it, Goose.
That's kind of cruel.
What?
There's Energon right next to its legs. You know, spots you're not supposed to be. I wonder if the vehicle gun is more effective.
Why isn't he a truck?
He has a truck.
He doesn't look like a truck.
The Cybertron. He's bulky like a truck.
He doesn't look like he does in the you know.
What?
Because he's like a big rig. Optimus Prime is always a big rig.
Yes, as an Earth vehicle.
But he needs to look like a big rig.
Yeah. You can't really see get a good angle of it, but it does kind of look like a truck trailer. Yeah. Stop spewing that nasty stuff.
That's what she said.
Oh fuck. Well, that drained almost all of my health. You died.
Coming again.
Yes, and he just died. Kaboom. Okay, Doctor, where do we go?
Yeah, we got it down now. Bring on the rest of them.
That's the spirit bumblebee. Autobots to the Decagon.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, good enough. Wait, have I just destroyed the thing that's dispensing Dark Energon? Why is Dark Energon still forming?
For reasons hitherto unknown.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh no. The floor did a crumble.
But it was supposed to.
Yes. You guys can help clear this stuff, right?
Make the roots retract. Now Iacon can start repairing itself. Remember, Autobots, blast the spikes, but never touch them. Transform and roll out.
I almost have to wonder how much Peter Cullen gets paid just to say that with those words.
Probably a lot.
In fact, he's apparently unionized.
Well, yeah, a lot of actors are part of an actors union.
But apparently, the company that did the Bumblebee movie
Yeah.
wasn't hiring union actors full time.
Probably.
Apparently, he doesn't want to do the role anymore because he felt he was mistreated for that movie.
For what?
The Bumblebee movie.
I never saw it.
Oh, I didn't either. But I saw him explaining the situation. Apparently, they had actually someone who's kind of famous on YouTube, John Bailey. If you've ever seen the like Honest trailers,
Yes.
John Bailey is the voice behind that stuff now.
Yeah.
They hired him to do Prime's lines for the majority of the production.
Okay.
So, and then brought Peter Cullen in for a day, one day, to go over the entirety of that guy's lines. But what made it even worse is that they animated Prime's voice in the show to match Bailey's performance. And because he was trying his best to emulate Peter Cullen, and Peter Cullen said he didn't get like Peter's inflections right.
Yeah.
So Peter couldn't do his best work because he had to copy the guy copying him, basically. Like, with his inflections and everything, to try and get the lines to match up.
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense, though. Why would they do it twice?
Because they wanted Peter Cullen, but they didn't want to pay his union. Or his union fees.
Assholes.
Yep. So they made him work twice as hard, basically, to get all of Prime. If I remember, Prime wasn't a massive character in the movie, but still, to have him come in for a literal day to do all of Prime's lines.
That just seems absurd. Like, not even in like a, like... I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say.
I find it just absurd that they said, yeah, do your best, like, Peter Cullen impression, then have Peter Cullen in to go over that, because there's only one Peter Cullen. You can't get his inflections of Prime 100%.
No, and he's been playing the character for 1 billion years.
Well, since the early 80s.
That's a long time, hun. We weren't alive in the 80s.
That's true.
Like and comment and subscribe if you were alive in the 80s and you're watching this. But in any case, like, he's been playing the character for, like, a very, very long time. So, like, it doesn't make sense to me that they would get somebody else when he's, like, so heavily associated with it.
Yeah, it's just...
Because he did it in, he did it in, like, the Michael Bay movies, didn't he? Or...
Yep.
Right, okay.
It was actually his first time coming back to the role.
Right.
So he did in the original the 80s cartoon, and then didn't do it until the Bay films. All the Transformers Gary Chalk roles were, or Optimus roles were done by Gary Chalk, typically in that time, in between those time periods.
Okay.
But
You know, sorry, thinking about the Michael Bay movies again. You know what? One thing I'll give those movies. Hugo Weaving as fucking Megatron was amazing.
I think for the newer stuff, yeah, he was a good choice.
Well, he just did a really good job. That's what
Oh no,
I
I'm not saying
appreciated.
I'm not saying he didn't.
Yeah.
But I still think there's some iconography to Frank Welker's performance. It was the original.
Yeah, obviously. I'm not saying he's better than Frank Welker by any means. I just mean, like, I think that he lent a certain gravitas to it.
Megatron, weirdly enough, is one that has had a bit more diversity in the presentation, and it doesn't feel like someone's trying to emulate someone, or it allows for a very unique sounding Megatron without it feeling, I guess, somewhat constrained.
Yeah. Because, like, with Optimus Prime, no matter what... Like, obviously I haven't seen the 80s cartoon or whatever. I've seen clips of stuff, like, from either stuff that you've showed me or on YouTube or whatever. Like, with Megatron, like you're saying, you know, it's like you can get a little bit of a diversity, because it's not, you know, such an iconic kind of...
Well, he is iconic.
I know, I just mean, like, you know, there's been, like, a really big diversity of actors who voiced him, right? Whereas, like, with Optimus Prime, like, you can't really, like, disassociate Peter Cullen and Optimus Prime.
I think what might have helped the Megatron case is Gary Chalk, when he did Optimus Primal in the Beast Wars cartoon, which was the first Transformers series, TV series after the original.
Yeah.
He was still doing his own thing in a way, but he still had those kind of like Optimus Prime kind of vibes to Optimus Primal.
Yeah.
Almost kind of sound like a younger Optimus Prime in a few ways, even though completely separate characters. But I can't remember who the actor was who did Megatron in the Beast Wars cartoon.
Let's go.
But he kind of made that Megatron 100% his own character.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've seen the jokes online of the Beast Wars Megatron going, yes!
I have not.
But that's kind of what Beast Wars Megatron was. He was like this kind of snobbish, like, guy that was known for saying yes. But again, he made Megatron feel like his own that iteration of Megatron feel like his own character.
Yeah, like,
and which I think is which kind of lets Megatron be so different.
The problem with Optimus Prime, though, is that everybody is trying to be Peter Cullen.
Yes, which is the kind of the problem.
It's a problem, but it's also, like, it means that you really can't have any diversity for the role. Like, you know, obviously knock on wood, but what happens when Peter Cullen dies and can't do it anymore? Like...
Yeah, because he's getting up there in age.
He's old. He's old as fuck. Like, I don't mean to be disrespectful or anything, but he's old as fuck. Like...
Something I do appreciate about Peter Cullen is that he still loves doing the job.
He does. But it's like, I feel like obviously they're never going to stop doing Transformer stuff as long as it's like, you know...
No, especially since the Bay films have kind of revitalized public interest in the IP.
Yeah. But, like, they're not going to be able to do a really good job with it because he's not going to be around anymore. And they haven't allowed for a diversity of voices for him. Especially,
I'd argue, since a lot of more modern Transformer stuff is trying to emulate at least the designs of the classic Transformers. Like I haven't watched it, but I've seen there's a Netflix War for Cybertron cartoon series based on the War for Cybertron toy line that is unrelated to this War for Cybertron.
Okay.
That aside, though, they're using the designs of classic Optimus. Because it's not its own unique design, people people now just kind of expect a certain voice to come out of it.
Well, and therein lies a little bit of the problem with, like, and I'm not gonna say it's just with Transformers, it's with a lot of, like, pre-established media franchises and stuff, is that when you have, you know, something that's so iconic like this, And, you know, you have people that responded really well to, you know, we'll say Optimus Prime or, you know, anything else. It's like the people who are in charge of making the new making new content will fall back on, you know, like, okay, we know Optimus Prime is super popular, we know Bumblebee is super popular, so we're just gonna do stuff with Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. And by sticking to old guns, so to speak.
Well, arguably the Bumblebee popularity is more to do with the Michael Bay stuff.
Well, yeah. No, I just mean, like, in general, like, because so many places are, like, afraid to go out and do newer stuff in an established universe, which, you know what, in some cases, it's fair. Like, I would never say that, you know, you should go out and do stuff in something like Tolkien's work, because, like, it's already so established and has all of its own mythology and has all of its own, you know, like, you've been introduced to all the important people kind of thing. But, like, and I'm just using this because, again, I don't really know a lot about Transformers outside of stuff that you've told me or showed me or whatnot. But, like, when you have people afraid to add, like, new characters into something and give people somebody new to care about, then it kind of becomes a thing where you're almost stuck because...
Oh, fuck.
You know, you have the Optimus Primes and, you know, the Peter Cullens of the game, so to speak, and then that's what your franchise becomes associated with. Does that make sense? Like, does what I'm trying to say make sense?
Yeah, but it comes down to the fact that when something becomes established, it becomes iconic. And shifting that iconography can lead to diminishing results for these companies.
Absolutely.
How they see it, anyway. So they're afraid to change something that's considered iconic.
But then, like, you know, you know what, I'm probably gonna get shit from people for saying this, if anybody, you know, actually decides to comment or participate in the video in any sense. But that's where you get something awesome, like, you know...
Goose, get off.
As much as I don't want to say it, you get the prequels, or for Star Wars, for example. Star Wars, by the time the prequels came out, was already an incredibly iconic series. But then, you know, George Lucas comes in and he introduces, you know, young Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan was barely even really a thing in the OG trilogy. He introduces young Obi-Wan, he introduces Anakin Skywalker as a real, you know, tangible character aside from, you know, just Darth Vader. You know, introduce, like, as much as people hate Padme and stuff, it's like you have Padme come in.
Oh no.
You know. Oh shit.
Well, we'll have to start some technical difficulties and we'll be back with the next episode.
Yeah.